Win as one. EA Sports FIFA 21 sponsors Saturday Social.
I know that you're very excited, a bit apprehensive about the Manchester derby, Ciaran. Let's look ahead to it now. There's a lot to talk about, actually, because a lot going on with both clubs this week. Let's start with the quotes from Paul Pogba's agent, Mino Raiola, because he had this to say. And it is a strong quote, by the way. I can say that it's over for Paul Pogba at Man United. Joe, I want to come to you first as the United fan. It's not the first time Mino Raiola has said some strong quotes, as we've seen. I can see that your face is a picture. But what did you make of those quotes? And also, I want to ask you about the timing of those quotes, given that that was the day before the RB Leipzig Champions League game, which many people said was United's biggest game of the season so far.
Yeah, stitch up for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm not going to lie. They broke my heart a little bit because it's not the first time quotes like that have come out of Paul Pogba's camp. But yeah, like you said, the timing just absolutely killed us in the Champions League. It was really, really tough for Ole anyway. And then not being able to really pick his best player or one of his better technical players in Paul Pogba because of the backlash we would have got otherwise was an absolute nightmare. He's obviously not had the best sort of 18 months, Pogba, but you could see when he came on, he's still very influential in this team. But I think it's probably time to call it quits now. You know, let him go to Juve, move on, because it's just not happening for either party, is it?
Yeah, he did come on, did score. Obviously, United lost the game, Ciaran, and are out of the Champions League. How much did you think that? Yeah, I can see you happy about that, celebrating that. On a serious note, though, Ciaran, how much do you think that had? Do you think that had anything to do, or had any part with the results? A story like that breaking, or not? What do you think?
I don't think it helped at all, but I think the same result probably would have happened anyway. It's the difference between a good player and a great player is consistency, and he's not that consistent. So I think it's irrelevant to the result. I don't think they would have got past anyway. Another penalty, which probably shouldn't have been a penalty. So hopefully none of those today. But no, I don't. It's just that it's what agents do, innit? That's what they got to do.
Yeah, exactly. And it's definitely what Mino Raiola's done. And I wanted to bring up Jamie Carragher here because he's been very vocal about this topic, particularly during this week. In fact, on Monday Night Football, earlier in the week, he talked about what he would do with Paul Pogba.
What's the best solution?
Get rid. I've been saying this for 12 months. Oh, my God. Most overrated player I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I think the two of them are a disgrace. We'll all look at the agent now and say, as you said, ask Pogba, what does he think? Agents in this day and age, they're not just agents. They're a parent, they're the best friend, they're the financial advisor, they book holidays, they go away with each other. Those two will be like that. He'll be Pogba's best mate. So Pogba will be well aware of what was going to come out of his mouth. And if he wasn't, he should sack his agent.
But he didn't stop there, Jamie Carragher. Did he then took to Twitter as well during the game against Leipzig when we were 3-0 down? Here he is saying they've knocked back the manager. Cheeky little Carragher grin in the bottom left there, and that got nearly 20,000 likes. He's been very vocal about the Paul Pogba situation. Chunkz, let's come to you on this one. I wanted to touch on his original point where he called Pogba the most overrated player he's ever seen. Do you agree with that statement?
Nah, definitely not, man. We've seen what he's been able to do international football at Juventus. So to say he's the most overrated player he's seen, it's basically, I feel like it hasn't worked at United because of the system. So they're not looking after him, basically. Like, he likes to just be like have a free role in the middle. And I feel like with Kante at France, you can just like, he's released of his defensive duties and he can just kind of be creative. But with United, I don't know. I don't even think you guys have a player that just does the defensive work. Like, apparently it's Fred, but you know what I mean? But like, yeah, I reckon if you just had a player next to him that you could trust defensively, then you can just be more creative and not have to come back. You can see what he can do when he's up top, bro. Just that goal he scored the other day, like, incredible. So, Carragher's got agendas still.
Yeah, because you mentioned, like Ciaran mentioned a minute ago, his kind of consistency. He's had really amazing patches, then really down patches, whereas now we've got a player like Bruno Fernandes who seems to be extremely consistent, sort of playing like an 8 out of 10 in every single game at minimum. Do you think he's just been fully usurped now by Bruno, just shoved out to one side, and it's kind of like we don't necessarily need you as much anymore?
Yeah, now Bruno's doing the job that everyone thought Pogba was going to be doing, and he just slipped right in, like, perfectly. It's just made him look even more bad. So I think that's why now people are all-time high with Pogba in terms of anger and frustration. So yeah, usurped, he's done. New king in town.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, interesting point you make, Chunkz, particularly about the France squad. I totally agree about the system that France play with Conte there. But it didn't end there, the Pogba debate, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was asked about this issue, and this is what Ole had to say after the game.
Squad is fine. They're a team, and they stick together. As soon as Paul's agent realizes this is a team sport and we work together, the better. And that's probably maybe the last thing I'll say about that. I don't want to spend energy on that.
Yeah, let's talk about Ole. Does that Champions League exit, Ciaran, for you, place more pressure on Ole's position? Obviously, none of us like to see a manager lose his job, but got a bit of context. United in the Premier League, I think people are forgetting this, that they've won the last 4 Premier League games, and they're only 5 points off the leaders with the game in hand. 5 points off the leaders with the game in hand, Joe.
Yeah.
Good. Ciaran, what do you think about Ole's position at the minute? Because they're doing all right in the Premier League.
Yeah, but this always happens when it gets like... they keep going down in games and then coming back, and you can't sustain that. And hopefully they don't do that today. But I'm amazed he's there in the first place. I actually predicted he was going to be the manager as a joke, and then now he has been for quite a while now. I can imagine them winning it today. I guess there's no pressure in the league, but yeah, because they just have for the past few years. I don't know what. They've just had some horrible way of coming back, and they seem to do that with Ole, which I don't like, but they didn't manage it against Leipzig, so hopefully they don't manage it again. Hopefully this is it.
Yeah, we have seen this before, haven't we, Chunkz? That Ole has pulled some big results out in the past, particularly against City. So Man United are capable of a big result today.
Yeah, man. I do like Ole. I don't hate him and I don't love him. Do you know what I mean? I think he's just doing a good job. Like, I think people are being a bit too harsh on him. So yeah.
Clip that up.
Against City, I don't know.
Do you think he's good enough? Do you think he's good enough to win a league title at Man United, Chunkz?
No. If I'm being honest, no, bro. That league title is a big ask. I think your whole unit just needs to be solid, from the management to the squad depth to the players. I reckon you're a couple of years away from that still. A couple of transfers you need still.
We're always 2 years away.
Okay. Well, let's move it on, Joe, because we've spoken a lot about Man United. I know Ciaran wants to talk about Man City as well. Big news this week, Ciaran. Sergio Aguero is back. He tweeted this after the game. So this was after Man City's 3-0 Champions League win against Marseille. He says, happy to be back, happy for the W. My knee is feeling better and I'm gradually getting back into condition. My gratitude goes to the physios, the medical, the technical staff, my teammates and the fans for all your support. I feel like he's won an award with all the people that he's thanking there. He came on in the 67th minute, scored in the 77th minute. He loves a goal against Man United. I think that's 8 goals in 13 Premier League appearances. You must be delighted that he is fit and available for selection.
He's so good against United. Even when we're rubbish, he's always good. He's like the one against Phil Jones that I remember the year after we won the league in 2011-12. Just at some painfully difficult angle, he will just absolutely rifle it in past David De Gea every time, his best friend. Which is beautiful to watch. I'm so happy he's back. It's been horrible not having just not having him. You don't realise how you sort of take it for granted until he's injured. And then you realise that Gabby Jesus is wonderful and he has a great record, but he has the burden of just not being Aguero, which must be difficult, but you can't help that. He's great. I love him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I saw you linked with Erling Haaland earlier in the week. We might well come on to that later in the show, but would he be the man you want to replace Aguero, Ciaran?
Yes, I'm desperate for someone who has a picture in a City shirt from when they were like 6th to play for City. So just on that basis itself, yeah.
Yeah, that would really rub salt in the wounds, I'm not going to lie. Let's chat about the game then, because United are struggling badly at home. We've won just 1 in 5 in the league at Old Trafford. Chunkz, let's get a score prediction from you. How do you see this game going at Old Trafford?
2-1 to City.
2-1 City. Who's scoring? Aguero?
I reckon Aguero, and the Braz never scores for some reason. I reckon, Aguero and maybe Ferran Torres if he's playing. And I'll give it to Rashini.
Oh, all right, Ciaran?
I'm going to say exactly the same. Ferran Torres, Aguero, and then, probably Rashford. 2-1.
I was going to go for the exact same scoreline, but that is rubbish TV because they both said 2-1. So I'll say 3-2 Man City, just to mix it up a bit for no other reason.
I'll go 3-1 Man United. I think this could be a full Solskjaer syndrome today.